Here, and this is a show and tell video on a Suron part. This Suron part right here, right, from Warp9 Racing, but I didn't get it from Warp9 Racing, okay? So, story is, it's 2022, Black Friday, and Hazeveg is looking for some Suron parts to buy again, right? Last year I bought a bunch of stuff from Warp9, but there is nothing I really wanted to buy from them this time around. Except for a kickstand, all right, or a side stand. And so I saw the side stand on there, you know, like, you know what, I could use a better side stand. I'm not really too happy with the one that's on the Suron, I'm telling you. It's just, it's a little too pokey, and like it goes through the dirt like too easily. Yeah, it's not the most stable of side stands, I'll say, all right? So I've always kind of wanted this, and you know, I couldn't find anything else that I wanted to buy. And they didn't have it in stock, okay? So I was shopping around and I found out Charge Cycle Works is kind of having a sale there. Had like a $10 off sale for Black Friday. I think it depends on how much you spent or something, all right? I've never bought anything from Charge Cycle Works before, all right? So there's a little plug for them. There's their sticker there. I'll show it a little closer later. Yeah, so I got this thing for... It's $109 on their website, and I got $10 off on it. I got it for about 99 bucks. Okay, and I think you can get it for pretty much the same price on warp9racing.com. Okay, but Charge Cycle Works had it in stock, so that's where I bought it. And I think the shipping was like $8, so the total damage was about 106 bucks. Okay, so it's an adjustable kickstand made by Warp9 Racing. Let's go take a closer look at it. Okay, there we go. So let's check this out. All right, there's the box. Pretty plain. It's got the Warp9 logos here all around it, and it's just black. Okay, here there's a barcode. All right, I don't know if this is, maybe Charge Cycle Works puts that. It says S Kick ADG for adjustable 2. Okay, and it looks like it's been opened already because there's no tape's not sealed. All right, so let's go. And this is where I bought it from, Charge Cycle Works. Little plug for them. First time I bought stuff from them. Sometimes I kind of look at the stuff on their website. They got some wheel combos and some controllers and stuff, the usual Suron stuff. So it's pretty amazing how much places there are to get parts for the Suron now. When Hades Omega first bought this bike, there wasn't really anything. Okay. Alright, so that's all there is in the box. Alright, set that aside. And then, so we've got the kickstand itself. Take a closer look at that in a bit. Oh, it's a spring puller. Look at that. They actually give you this is a spring puller, I'm pretty sure. There's no instruction manual that comes with it, but I'm pretty sure you're going to use this doohickey to pull the spring back. I already have one though, so now I got two, I guess. We'll try it out. Okay, it has a Warp9 sticker, and then it's got a Suron extension, Suron kickstand extension. Okay, I'm not really sure how that works. All right, this definitely looks like it's been opened before. Somebody's taken this out. So I guess, aha, okay, I think I know what this is for. I think you'll put this in here so you can make it go out more. All right, if your bike is really tall, then you're going to use this. All right, so just gotta, well, we'll go take it apart and I'll show you how it works, I guess. So there's a number of companies other parts manufacturers that do make kickstands. All right, I think NTC makes them, and I think eBikeZilla has one too. This one looks like the best one. All right. The reason I want this over the stock Suron one. All right, let's go take a look at it. Okay, so the reason that you would want to get you would want an adjustable kickstand is because if you put the Supermoto wheels on your bike sits too straight. All right, and it's really easy. It's really easy to knock over. All right. I'm not going to say you need a new kickstand or you need a different height kickstand, because you can get by without it. But yeah, if you just a little
you just touch the bike and it'll tip over already. All right. And then another thing is if you put smaller wheels on for your rear wheel, your bike will be a little bit lower. So having the ability to adjust the kickstand height is a good thing. All right. If you got smaller wheels, you probably want to have a shorter kickstand. All right. If you got taller wheels, you want a longer kickstand. All right. And so I think this is a better design too. All right. It's kind of like a tubular design. Is what it looks like, yeah, because it's hollow. It has a bigger. What sold me is the foot. All right, I'm not a big fan of the foot on the Sauron kickstand here. Okay, check it out. See how small that foot is. This is my stock one, by the way. It's seen a lot of use. All right, there's the new foot and there's the old foot. Look at the surface area on this bad boy. Okay, there's a lot of surface area on it. All right, and I think if your foot wore out or broke or something, you could replace it. All right, I haven't had any problems with this breaking. But yeah, this thing will just, like, if you park in like the sand or the dirt or something, it'll just sink into the sand more easily. All right, so this has a nice fat foot here, so it won't sink into like soft sand or dirt as easily as this. All right. I've had bigger than that. I have a really big one for my DR650, but yeah, I like these. Okay, so like parking your bike off-road is always a challenge with the Lipey, all right? I mean, yeah, okay, you could always just forget the kickstand and just lay it down on its side. Nothing's going to spill out of it, but I would rather use a kickstand, guys. All right. Okay, so here's some other features of about this kickstand, all right? It's an adjustable kickstand, obviously. We'll go play around with the adjustment in a bit. So it says the spring pin is shorter than the OEM kickstand to allow for wider tires and more clearance. I think they're talking about this. Okay, so this little pin here, it doesn't stick out as much as the one on the Sauron. So so that could be, yeah, that could be a clearance issue. If you look here, see how, I'm gonna move it a little bit, but see how this is kind of close to the wheel. I don't know what kind of wheel. I can stick my finger in there still. Okay, there's still plenty of space. I don't know how wide a wheel that they want to put on there. This is about as wide a wheel as you can put on this bike, guys. This is a 100 width tire, all right? So I don't know why. Maybe they're installing some of these monster freaking tires, all right? Or it's maybe with the knobbies it sticks out more. Okay. So I've never had a problem with this rubbing, but they're talking about this. All right, this doesn't stick out as far, so you can put a wider tire if you want. Okay, I didn't really need it for that, but it's all right. It says the mid adjustment. It fits Saurons with 19 and 16-inch wheel combos. All right, that's the shorter one. And then with the 21 and an 18 combo is the full adjustment. All right, full out. The shortest adjustment fits Saurons with as small as 16-inch wheels front and rear. Okay, and then the ultra strong machine steel pivot head, lightweight tubular steel body, and aluminum foot. Okay, so it's steel. All right, all of this is steel. I think this is just aluminum. So it's a tubular steel. So it's light, but it's still strong. All right, it has to be hollow. Right. Because you need the adjustment mechanism right here, okay? It has an ultra strong machine steel pivot head. Oh, we went with that. It includes a spring puller to reuse the OEM kickstand spring. Okay, that's what I showed you earlier. All right. And then there's a magnet in the head so you can retain your kickstand lockout if you run it. All right. So there's a little magnet right here. So if you still have the side stand switch, you could still use it. Okay, but I never had that on my bike. So okay, from Warp9 Racing, it's $109. Right, it's the same price from Charge Cycle Works and Warp9 Racing. Pretty cool. Let's take a little closer look at it. All right, this looks pretty beefy right here. Look at that. That looks like it might be like a billet steel or something. It's got a recess here, just like the stock one, for the what is it? The bolt. Okay. It reuses all the same fasteners and stuff, and the spring. Okay. And so yeah, this is where the magnet is. It's threaded on this end. should be stronger than the stock kickstand. All right, like they said, like they mentioned, this isn't as doesn't stick out as much. There's the welds, very nice clean welds. Cool. Okay, there's a Warp9 etching in there. All right, and so it looks like the foot, you could remove the foot. All right, so I don't know if you can just buy the parts for this, but let's say you lose it or something, you know. That's the foot right there. The foot is pretty big compared to stock one I showed you earlier. This is made out of aluminum, okay, like they mentioned. And then there's a bolt here, right? It's a panhead Allen head bolt with a washer, 2 washers on both sides, and a lock nut. All right. So you wouldn't want this bolt coming out, and you would lose your foot. All right. I think there was some other. Yeah. So I was looking at the other designs of the aftermarket kickstands, and the way they have it is like, it's kind of like a one-hole billet piece, and so there's different holes in it. And you would move it to a different hole, and then you would screw the screw into the actual kickstand. And I thought, like, you know, that's not a good idea. You would definitely want to use some Loctite, but if any of the bolts ever backed out on that, you're gonna lose your kickstand. All right, so this, you're not gonna lose this. All right, it's got a locking nut on there. All right, so it uses a locking nut, and it doesn't look as pretty, but it gets the job done. Okay. All right, let's go take a look at the adjustment mechanism. Right now, the way it is right now, I think this is the shortest, right? It's about an inch shorter than stock. That might be where I use it. I'm not sure. It said the mid adjustment is for the 19-16 combo, and then if you're if you're running 16s, I don't know who runs 16s, man. Like, I'm only running 17s. So, with the 19-16 and the 17-inch Supermoto wheels, the height is roughly the same. So I'm not going to be adjusting it all the time. Okay, but let's go check it out. Okay, let's adjust this bad boy. Okay, here we go. So it takes a T25 Torx. All right, I thought it was an Allen wrench before, but it's not. I was wondering why it isn't working. Okay, so what you got to do is loosen the nut first, all right, because the nut holds it on. Believe it or not, the whole thing is threaded. Okay, so this is just a insurance so it doesn't back off, which is great. Okay, so you want to take this nut off. You could probably start unscrewing it at the same time. Okay, at some point you'll run out of nut. Okay. Okay, and then there's the bolt right there. I hope it's stainless steel so it doesn't rust. Also note that, yeah, everything that's steel on this thing is painted black. All right, so it will not rust. Now if you scratch it or something, yeah, it might rust. All right, but there's nothing like a permanent marker won't fix. Right? We'll see how battle scarred this gets. And then there's the foot. The foot is aluminum, so you don't have to worry about this rusting. Pull it out. And there it is. Okay, so here is the difference between the extended foot and the regular foot. Okay, you get one more adjustment. Yeah, you get one more adjustment in every direction. All right, you get an adjustment, a longer adjustment and one shorter adjustment. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so these don't line up, and then this doesn't line up. All right, so if you need more adjustment, you can unbolt it. All right, hopefully this has got a lot of Loctite in it. Okay, so this doesn't fall off later. I'm going to double make sure that's tight. All right. Also, another thing is this is going to be touching the ground and stuff. It's going to get dirty and a whole lot. It's going to get packed with mud and dirt and stuff. All right, so chances are, once you figure out where the height you want, you're probably never going to take this foot off again. Okay, so I'm going to try it with the default adjustment cylinder. So let's say, okay, it's called an adjustment cylinder. Okay, you can see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 adjustment holes in it. Okay, so you can adjust it into 5 different positions, and they're all threaded. Very nice craftsmanship. I like it, man. Sweet. sweet. It's made out of, I believe it's made out of aluminum. So don't tighten it too tight. All right, that's why there's the lock nut there. Okay, so just snug it, then snug this, and that'll keep it from backing out. The extension has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 also. Okay, but it's just a little bit longer. All right. Okay, so yeah, let's. Uh-oh, you know what? I forgot. I don't remember what direction it goes. I think it goes like that. Okay, so you could potentially put this on the wrong way. It could be that way also. Okay, but it's supposed to be this way. Okay, because I actually looked at the video. All right, I'm going to try it with the lowest position right now and see how I like it. But it's that easy, all right, guys? And you should be able to do it while it's on the bike. So if, let's say I wanted to go to the next one, I would move it up. Let's do it all the way out. How about that? Okay. You guys saw what the all the way in is. This is the all the way out. Okay, you would tighten this. Okay, now when you get to about here, you can put the nut back on. Okay. Okay, tighten it till it kind of stops, and then tighten the nut all the way. Okay, should be pretty secure. Doesn't flop around at all. Okay, that's what it looks like when it's extended all the way. Okay. Now another thing is, yeah, there's going to be a bunch of holes here. If you have it out all the way, you're gonna have a bunch of holes there, and that could get plugged up with mud and dirt and all that stuff too. So, if you want to adjust it again, you're gonna have to clean out those holes. Okay. Looks kind of cool though. Okay, so let's now that we know how to adjust it, let's go ahead and put it back on the bike. I think let's just install it like this first, and we'll see what happens. Okay. Once you get it where you want it, you're probably never going to adjust it again. Okay, guys? That's what I'm going to say. Also, let's go take this spring tool out. Okay, so when you use this, wear safety glasses, guys. All right, because you're working with a spring, and it's got, it's got kinetic energy and all that stuff. It could go flying and hit your eyeball. Okay, so there it is. Pretty cool looking thing. Looks like a big keychain with a hook on the end of it. Hopefully it's pretty strong. We'll try it out. Hopefully we won't break it. But I do have one. I have one that I bought from Harbor Freight. So, all right. All right. Sorry about the angle, but here we go. We're gonna put the stock side stand on here. All right. It weighs 7.4 ounces. It was only like freaking anything, man. It's super light. Okay. That's without any of the hardware. Okay. This one I would imagine weighs probably more than a pound. Oh no, there we go. Okay, it's 15 ounces. It weighs twice as much as the stock kickstand, alright? But I'll tell you this, it's probably way stronger. It could probably handle a lot more punishment. And I like the foot, alright? I like having this big foot on there, alright? It's one of the things I don't like about the Sauron is this pokey little side stand. Okay, so let's go install it. Okay, first thing we're going to do is we're going to take the kickstand off, alright? So I've taken this kickstand off probably more than a handful of times because during supermoto races they don't want you to have these on sometimes, okay? Why, I don't know. I heard they can get stuck in people's spokes and all that stuff. That would suck, but I can't see that happening with this one. Okay, this is more like a bicycle kickstand, alright guys? Boy, is it making a lot of squeaking sounds. We will grease it when we put the new one on, alright? So, normally there is a nut on the back of this. I think I lost it a while ago, so I don't have it anymore, alright guys? You're going to want it... You're going to want it in the up position, alright? That's where it has the least tension, alright? You could either pull the spring off now, or you can just take the bolt off and take it off with that too, okay? So I'm going to try to take it off with the spring still on there. It helps if you have a pretty long Allen wrench, because my monster foot pegs get in the way. These are the Warp9 foot pegs, by the way. These Megas decked out with Warp9 stuff. Yeah! Warp9 should sponsor me. Okay, you're going to take this bolt out. I'm surprised I haven't lost it yet. Alright, there's like a stop in there that keeps this from coming out. Maybe you might want to wear gloves, but I think I can get by without wearing gloves. Okay, bolt is out. Like I mentioned, if you still have it, there should be a nut holding this in also. Okay, I've never lost it, so. And then I think if you, so right now it's still on there. It can totally come off right now. I think if I rotate it counterclockwise, it should come off with the spring. All right, and there should be some washers and stuff in there. Oh yeah, I have my bike on a stand also, by the way. There's a little washer here. It has a little sleeve. It's a sleeved washer. So what I'm doing is wiggling it to get it out of there. All right, you'll see it when it comes out. I could probably get a screwdriver and kind of pry it out now. All right, at some point you should be able to get it out, and the whole thing just might come thing. Okay, there we go. All right, so you got to take that out. I have to wiggle it out to get it out there. Okay, I'm sure if you take the spring out, it'll come out easier. These makes want to try it, would do it without taking the spring out. Okay, now you can just slide the kickstand off. Okay, now I want to take the spring off. Okay, sorry, I tried to do it without taking the kickstand out. So there's these washers in there also. Okay, don't lose these. It's like a big sandwich. Okay, right now it should be pretty loose, so it should be easy to get it off. Okay, I'm gonna put I'm gonna put my pry bar here. Oh yeah, I think I know it. You just put it. You put a screwdriver in there, and then you just kind of rotate it, and it should pop out. Right, there's like a technique to doing this. He's not doing so good. There we go. Alright, I just kind of pried it. I pried it this way, and then the spring popped out. Okay, and then now I gotta go find the spring. It does look like this is a little bent. The kickstand is bent a little bit. Okay, there's the spring right there. Okay, so what you might want to do, since we can do a little bit of maintenance. So here's all the parts that came out, and I think you're gonna reuse them all. All right, I'm gonna reuse this. All right, and then you should have 2 washers. Okay, so it's a pain in the ass to put this back in. I'm not gonna lie, guys. So the washers go around this. All right. So what you might want to do is, let's clean that up a little bit. Let's do a little maintenance over here. I've got a wire brush here. Should probably use a plastic one. Let's clean out some of the dirt in there. Okay. Should ride off-road a lot. Here's probably got some dirt on it. Okay, now we're going to get a dab of just automotive grease. Alright, I'm going to put some grease around there. Chain lube works really good too. That's what I use also. I use chain lube. We're going to put it around both sides. That'll help keep the washer in. Okay. Okay. It'll be kind of hard to put it in here. I would just use the spray lube for this one. Okay. I'm going to try to wedge it in there and see if I can get it in there that way. No, it's not going to fit with these washers, guys. So I guess maybe it was designed to not have these in there. Okay, so like I said, it's steel, it's stronger, maybe it doesn't need it, all right? So I think you just install it without the washers. Maybe I can install it with just 1 washer. Let's try. It won't do it with 2. No. Oh yeah, it'll do it with 1. Let's see. No, it won't. It kind of does, but kind of doesn't. Yeah, no. not enough tolerance. Okay. Okay, so you're not gonna use the washers, all right? I just found that out right now. So slide this puppy in. What you could try to do is try to put. Let's see if this will work. I'm gonna try to put I'm gonna try to put the spring on first. All right, and then I'm gonna put the kickstand on there. Okay, but this requires you having to pull this. You're gonna use the kickstand as a freaking spring puller. Okay. Okay. Oh. In a way, this actually makes it easier to install if you don't use those washers. So the tolerances are tighter on this guy. Okay, and then so I'm gonna pull the bike back. Hopefully it doesn't fall off my stand. Oh, there we go. Okay, I got it on without having to use the tool. And then all you got to do is pull back so the holes line up now. All right, so because you got to get this thing in. This is the top part. Okay, I'm gonna pull back and then hopefully, there we go. Got it. Woo. All right. Then you're gonna put the bolt in. Would have been nice if they gave you some new hardware. All right, and you want to have a little bit of play in there also. Okay, so this is much. This should be much stronger than the stock one, all right? Because the stock one is aluminum. This one is steel, so hopefully it'll be okay. But yeah, you'll have a little bit of play on your side stand, which is okay. It's good to have a little bit of play, because that way it kind of adjusts itself to the surface. Okay. And then so if you still have that locking nut, put it back on the other end. I don't have it anymore. Okay. And I've already greased it and everything. Should be good. Another thing you might want to do is put some grease on the pivots here. I mean, the pins. All right, the pins that hold the spring in. Put a little dab of grease. Okay. Any kind of moving part, you should have some kind of grease or lubricant on it. Okay. I might spray it with a little chain lube. All right, like I said, 80s Mega's preferred lubricant for the side stand is chain lube. All right, and there you go. Okay, that's a pretty tall side stand. Okay, FYI, I didn't have this problem with the other one, but if you install the spring with the springy part, there's a more springy part and there's a less springy part. If you install it with the springy part closer to the bracket, it's going to rub on that bolt. Okay, see how it's rubbing on the bolt? Yeah. So you might want to install it the other direction. All right, so I'm going to flip that spring around. Shouldn't be too hard. All right. Okay, I flipped it around and there it is. It clears, barely clears. Oh wow. I didn't have that problem before. I could have put it either way. Okay, back to your regular scheduled programming. Okay, first test. There you go. It should spring back up. All right. It seems pretty good. All right. Hopefully that distance is the way it should be. That's what I want to say. Hopefully this doesn't just come down on its own. All right. Okay, I will probably shoot it with some side. So let's try it out. Okay, here we go. Moment of truth. Did I adjust it? How well did I adjust it? All right, I'm going to take it off my stand here. All right, put it down. Oh, look at that. All right, that's with it in the most extended position. All right, it's too tall. too tall. I think the mid position is probably where I want it. All right, that's what it said. The the mid position is where it said if you're running like a 1916, you want it to be in the mid position. So I would think probably this one or this one, all right? The second to the last one or the one above it. All right, so I'll play around with it. Yeah, but there it is. Okay. Can you do this number? Press it out. Yes, you can. Okay. All right, but yeah, it's too straight up and down right now. Right now, I got the Supermoto wheels on it, 17s. I want it to lean a little bit more, so I would probably adjust it. All right, so I would adjust it another hole or two down. All right, or three. All right, it's up to you how you want it. All right, do you want it to lean more or do you want it to be taller? All right. Me, I'm kind of like, I don't like it to lean too much. Okay. So I probably one or two holes more down, and then we'll be fine. Okay. So let's take it off the kickstand. There it is. Pretty sweet. It feels a lot meatier, that's for sure. Okay, to give you an idea how much the distance is, the difference in length is. Okay, so this is a little bit. I would say that's like 1 inch. Yeah, like 1 inch tall, longer than stock. Okay. So I want it to be pretty much where the stock one is. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, pretty much where. So like really, the only benefit I got out of this was that yes, it is adjustable, but the foot is much bigger. Look how big the foot is. Okay, compared to that. All right, the foot is literally like twice as wide. All right, it's got twice the surface area. All right, so that's the main reason I wanted this. This is twice the surface area as a stock one. All right, so like that's situations where you're parking in like off the side of the trail and your bike doesn't want to, thing because it keeps on sinking into the soil. This should help, okay? This should help a lot. Okay? It's twice as heavy, but I don't think you're really gonna notice it all that much, all right? It's twice as beefy, and this is bent. I'm looking at it right now too, so. Okay. Maybe in the future you could probably put those washers back in, but that actually makes it easier to install. Okay, so that's with the kickstand fully extended. All right, with the default cylinder in there. Okay, it's almost straight up and down. Okay, so you probably want to at least go one adjustment down. Also forgot to mention I'm running the Warp9 linkage. All right, this linkage lifts the bike up 3/4 of an inch. Okay, so my bike is not stock. Okay, so with that, I think if you have the 1.5, yeah, it's too tall. It'll lean over too much. Okay, so but it's actually just right with that guy. Okay, so I want to say it's perfect. Okay, so all right, I'm gonna go adjust it like 2 holes down and see how it is. All right, and I'll show you guys. But yeah, if you need to adjust it, you can either, I could lean it on this bike right here, or I could put it back on the stand. Okay, so. Okay, but yeah, you have to have something hold your bike up to adjust the kickstand. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'll show you the difference. I just demonstrated, I sped up the video a little bit, but I just demonstrated adjusting it, and then it took like about a minute or two, okay, if you got all the tools out. Alright, but there it is. It's leaning a lot more, okay? Is that fine? You know what? I probably want it one more up, is what I want to say. But here is the, alright. Oh yeah, it's pretty much almost the same. Yeah. Yeah, it's actually a little bit longer than stock, actually. So, I probably want it a little taller. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so I might adjust it again, but there it is. Okay, that's somewhere around there. Just get it where you want it, all right? But you want it so the foot is kind of flat on the ground, and right now it is actually flat on the ground, so maybe that's how I want it, okay? We will try it like that, okay? Just make sure you tighten all the bolts and stuff. Don't tighten it too much because you're tightening on aluminum, because the little extension thing is made out of is threaded aluminum, all right? Okay, there you go. So there's the Warp9 adjustable kickstand or side stand. All right, and I got the Warp9 foot pegs right there. If you guys want to know more about that, I'll put a link at the end of the video. All right, to my other Warp9 goodies. And he's make his bike is all decked out with Warp9 stuff. Okay, but yeah, there it is. And yeah, it's got a lot of adjustability. You know, get it how you want it. I think I might go one more up, I'm not sure, but that looks fine right there. All right, the bike seems pretty stable. All right, it doesn't feel like it's gonna tip over. Like, look at, yeah, that's why you got a kickstand, right? Okay, pretty cool. Okay, you can get these for $109 from Warp9 Racing or any other online store that sells Warp9 Racing products. All right, or for the Sauron. All right, I think they do sell one for the Talaria also. So Dome, and I think it maybe uses the same exact kickstand. I'm not sure, but yeah, they do sell one for the Talaria. Okay. Okay, so that's it. So you're not gonna use these washers, all right? In my opinion, that's better. I mean, I guess it's just there because it's made out of aluminum. The tolerances are so tight on that kickstand that that these wouldn't fit. Now, that's not to say like maybe in the future it might, you know, it may widen out, but it's made out of steel. All right, remember this is much stronger than the stock aluminum one. All right, so yeah. Okay, so you'll have these left over, and I have the. Okay, I showed you how to not use this. All right, you don't really need to use this. All right, but you could use it if you want to. But I showed you a way you can install it without using it. And then you'll have this extended cylinder, all right, with the adjustment holes. If you want to make it taller, okay, taller than what it is right now. Okay, and then there it is. All right, so I hope this video was educational and entertaining. Thanks for watching. That's the Warp9 adjustable side stand / kickstand. Okay, whatever you call it.